Hey BookTube, it's Jackie. How's it going? If you're new to me, it's the first time you're seeing my face. Hello, what's up? My name's Jackie. I sit on my floor and I talk about books. So that's why you're here, because that's what's gonna be happening today. If you're not new to me, thank you for always tuning in and continued support. I really do appreciate it. So today for you, I have a book haul and it is slightly massive. I mean, it looks a little something like this. Yeah, so if you'd like to see what's in these packages and what kind of books I've been purchasing lately and what might be coming down the pike, grab yourself a drink, have yourself a seat, and let's get talking some books. Okay, like I said, this is a book haul. These are the books I've been purchasing since the beginning of the year. I haven't done one yet. And so I have some book of the month books in here. I've got some Barnes & Noble trips in here. I've got a plethora of stuff in here. So, yeah, let's just get started. Move the bag over, we'll go start with the box. I've already opened the box because there was other stuff in here that I need to get out at the time. So I just threw all my book of the month books in here so I could make sure I didn't forget to haul them. The first one I have is The Reunion by Kayla Olson, which I believe is a second chance romance about two actors. Liv Latimer grew up on TV as the star of the popular teen drama Girl on the Verge. Liv spent her adolescence trying to be as picture perfect as her character in real life, but after the death of her father and the betrayal of her own on-screen love interest and off-screen best friend, Ransom Joel, all right, Liv wanted nothing more than to leave the spotlight behind. Now, though 20 years after the show's premiere, a major streaming service has invited the original cast back for a reunion special. So yeah, I think this will be interesting. I do like a good romance between two actors. I think that's kind of interesting, especially since I feel that would be a very difficult profession to have a relationship in based off what you do. So I'm excited about this one. And I think it'll be really fun for spring, summer, and I love the colors of it. Normally I tend to not just pick one book of the month. I tend to grab more. And so another one I have here is Queen of Thieves by Betsy Marsh. And this thing just, oh my God. This is a thriller mystery, I believe, set in London in 1946. Yes. About a group of, I think, female thieves. So kind of like an Oliver Twist sort of thing, maybe. It seemed really, really interesting when I picked it up, and I do love this cover. I think it's very unique and it is intriguing. So, yes. Another one I picked up was Julia Bart's The Writing Retreat. I loved the synopsis of this one, so I'm just going to read this one to you because the synopsis just, I loved it. At one exclusive writer's retreat, it's publish and perish. Alex has all but given up on her dreams of becoming a published author when she receives a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Attend an exclusive month-long writing retreat at the estate of a feminist horror writer, Rosa Vallo. Even the knowledge that Ren, her former best friend and current rival, is attending doesn't dampen her excitement. But when the attendees arrive, Rosa drops a bombshell. They must all complete an entire novel from scratch during the next month, and the author of the best one will receive a life-changing 7-figure publishing deal. Determined to win this seemingly impossible contest, Alex buckles down and tries to ignore the strange happenings at the estate, including Rose's erratic behavior, Ren's cruel mind games, and the alleged haunting of the mansion itself. But when one of the writers vanishes during a snowstorm, Alex realizes that something very sinister is afoot. With the clock running out, she must discover the truth or suffer the same fate. I feel like this is going to be like a clue for authors. Like that's what I feel when I read the synopsis of this book. And I'm super, super excited about it. Super excited. I think I'm going to enjoy this one when I pick it up, when I'm in that thriller kind of mood. Another one I picked up is All the Dangerous Things. This was a freebie in December. I just didn't haul it in December because it didn't come in until January. I don't really remember what this one's about. 1 year ago, Isabella Drake's life changed forever. Her toddler son, Mason, was taken out of his crib in the middle of the night while she and her husband were asleep in the next room. With little evidence and few leads for the police to chase, the chase quickly went cold. However, Isabella cannot rest until Mason is returned to her, literally. Except for the occasional catnap or small blackout where she loses track of time, she hasn't slept in a year. Isabel's entire existence now revolves around finding him, but she now knows she can't go on this way forever. In hopes of jarring loose a new witness or buried clue, she agrees to be interviewed by a true crime podcaster. But his interest in Isabel's past makes her nervous. His incessant questioning, paired with his severe insomnia, have brought up uncomfortable memories from her own childhood, making Isabel start to doubt her recollection of the night of Mason's disappearance, as well as a second guess who she can trust, including herself. But she's determined to figure out the truth of the matter where it leads. Well, that sounds intriguing. Very, very intriguing. This was not my book of the month pick in December, but I was given a gift for being a loyal subscriber to him, so this is the one that I picked, and now I remember why. This thing sounds fucking dope. The book I actually picked in December was The Circus Train by Amita Parika. I have no idea how to pronounce this woman's last name. But I thought it sounded really, really interesting. His historical fiction. When all is lost, how do you find the courage to keep moving forward? 1938, Lena Papadopoulos has never quite found her place within the circus, even as the daughter of the extraordinary headlining illusionist Theo. Brilliant and curious, Lena, who uses a wheelchair after a childhood bout with polio, earns the real-world magic of science and medicine, her mind stronger than limitations placed on her by society. Then her unconventional life takes an exciting turn when she rescues Alexander, an orphan with his own secrets and his own mysterious past. Yeah. I love a good historical fiction, and I love a good circus setting. Circus is one of those unique settings where it can go dark, it can go romantic, it can go fun, it can go crazy. You can do almost anything with the circus, so I'm really excited about this one to pick it up soon. I also picked up this one. This was one of the Book of the Year finalists by Book of the Month, and that is A Flicker in the Dark. When Chloe Davis was 12, 6 teenage girls went missing in her small Louisiana town by the end of summer. Her own fathers confessed the crimes and was put away for life, leaving Chloe and the rest of her family to grapple with truth and try to move forward while dealing with the aftermath. Now, 20 years later, Chloe is a psychologist in Baton Rouge and getting ready for her wedding. While she finally has a fragile grasp on the happiness she's worked so hard to achieve, she sometimes feels as out of control of her own life as the troubled teens who are her patients. So when a local teenage girl goes missing and then another, the terrifying summer comes crashing back. Is she paranoid, seeing parallels from her past or that aren't actually there? Or the second time in her life is Chloe about to unmask a killer? So a lot of thrillers in my book of the month. Book of the month is really cool for their thriller selections, and that's where I tend to pick a lot of them up. The most recent book of the month pick of mine was this bad boy, and I picked it straight up because of this fucking cover. I mean, look at this cover. This thing is just beautiful. I love this. I think it's so pretty. I love the yellow and the pink, and I just love the vibrancy of it. This is a story about a girl who's wanting to reinvent herself. And she, where was it? She wrote a diary as a child, and it comes back to kind of like turn into something. Longtime personal assistant Georgie McCauley has made a career out of putting others before herself. When an unexpected upheaval sends her away from her hectic job in LA and back to her hometown, Georgie must confront an uncomfortable truth. Her own wants and needs have always been a disconcertingly blank page. But then Georgie comes across a forgotten artifact, a friend-fic diary she wrote as a teenager, filled with possibilities she once imagined. To an overwhelmed Georgie, the diary's simple, small-scale ideas are a lifeline, a guidebook for getting started on a new path. Georgie's plan hits a snag when she comes face-to-face with an unexpected roommate, Levi Fanning, one-time town troublemaker and current town hermit. But this quiet, grouchy man is more than just his reputation, and he offers to help Georgie with her quest. As the two make their way through her wish list, Georgie begins to realize that what she truly wants might not be in the pages of her diary after all, but right by her side, if only they can both find a way to let go of the past and hold them back. So, not so much bite her in the ass, but like kind of find her way back home. I thought this sounded really, really unique, and this was my February pick of the month. So those are all my book of the months. And now for the books that I actually sought out and purchased. So the first one I have already read, and that was Scott Westerfeld's The Uglies. This is the first installment of the Ugly series, and I believe I gave this 4 stars. I bought this for my Bread Witch and Bitchin' book club. I plan on continuing with the series, but I've already read this, so I'm very, very proud of myself. The next two books I picked up are the next installments in the Alpha Wolves Want Cur series by A.D. Ward, and that is Kinky Wolf and Hungry Wolf. I had such a good time with Naughty Wolf physically reading it, so I thought that's how I'm going to continue with the series, so I picked up the next two installments. This one follows Nico, and this is the third installment, and then this one follows Alexi, I think is how you say his name. I have not met this character yet, so I'm excited to find out what happens with these. And they're super short, so they read really, really fast. So yeah, I'm continuing that series. And there's two more in that series, but they look like they're kind of a spin-off, but they're still included in the series. So I haven't picked those up yet, but I plan on it. I finally picked this up. Alice Clayton is one of my backlist authors this month, or this year, where I want to try to read as much of her backlist as I can, or try to read it down. And she wrote the Redhead trilogy, the Unknown Redhead trilogy that I read 2 years ago, and I absolutely adored it. And I've been wanting to pick up this series for a while, and this is, I don't exactly know this. I think this is called her Cocktail series. Yeah, it's her Cocktail series. And this is Wallbanger by Alice Clayton. This is the first installment. We have Caroline, who moves into a fantastic new San Francisco apartment, and she realizes she's gaining an intimate knowledge of her new neighbor's nocturnal adventures. Thanks to paper-thin walls and the guy's athletic prowess, she can hear not just his bed banging against the wall, but the ecstatic response of what seems as loud night after loud night goes by like an endless parade of women. And since Caroline is currently on a self-imposed dating hiatus, her neighbor is clearly lethally attractive to women. She finds her fantasies keep her awake even longer than the noise. I have a really cool idea to do with these books, so I picked up the first one to see how I liked it. I really enjoyed the Redhead trilogy. The steam in these were really, really good. They read really, really fast, and I really enjoyed Alice Clayton's writing, so I'm excited about this one for sure. The next book, and I'm very happy to say it's finally in my fucking hands, Queen of Myth and Monsters by Scarlett St. Clair. This is the second installment to the Adrian and Isolde series. And I am stoked to find out what continues happening in this series, but I want it on hardcover because my first one is on hardcover, so I had to wait for it to come out on hardcover for me to get it. And I'm super, super excited to find out what happens because the cliffhanger in that other one was just like, I need to know. So I'm excited. And I need a Scarlett St. Clair fix because my next Persephone, Hades and Persephone books are not coming out until September and October. So I need a fix. Thank you. I'll be excited. The next two books are because of this author being part of my backlist authors, and I need to get the rest of the series, and that is Mo Jones. I picked up Malum Evil, which is book 4, and Malum Evil part 2, so part 1, part 2, book 4 and 5. Now, I believe this is technically, it's part of the Elite Kings Club series, but I believe it veers away from the original group, if I remember correctly. So I think the original Elite Kings Club is just the original trilogy with those guys, and then this starts to veer off with some kind of spin-offs, but they're still all part of the same series. So I'm very, very excited, and these covers, she has the best fucking covers. I love these things. They're so gorgeous. Oh my God, I love them. Super, super excited. Glad to have these on my shelf now. This is something new that just came out, and I saw it and I thought it was a really interesting concept. There is a series that a group of authors wrote based off of 7 Deadly Sins, and that's one of my favorite things to study in religion, was the 7 Deadly Sins. I really liked that idea, and so they wrote a series based off of it, and the first one is Lust, so I picked it up, and this one is by J.L. Leslie. I plan on picking up the rest of them. So this is the 7 Deadly Sins Mafia romance series. That's like the actual title of the series. And this follows the Morettis. Yes, the Moretti family. So I'm excited to find out what goes with that because I do love myself a good mafia. I'm thinking mafia romance readathon. Jen, you just let me know because I'm gearing up for it. I'm getting some stuff ready for it, okay? So that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to be picking this up because it's really short. It's be perfect for a read-along or a readathon. And then I picked this one up because this is part of This was my viewer recommendation for the month of February, so I couldn't get it on Kindle, so I had to purchase it, and that is The Resurrectionist by E.B. Hudspeth. And this thing looks fucking dope. It's super short, but it reads like an anatomy book, and it's just this cool fucking layout. So I'm really, really excited to dive into this and see what this is about, and then review it later. So you will see a full book review of this guy soon, because it was my book, my viewer choice recommendation. So yeah, I'm excited about this. This looks really fucking cool. Like, some of the pictures in this are really, really neat. So like, yeah, I'm just like, I'm looking at all these pictures, and you have like the bone structure of it. I just fucking love this. I think that's awesome. I think it's so cool. I loved anatomy and physiology when I was in college. I always found this stuff really, really interesting. So having kind of like a fantastical textbook of anatomy and physiology, I think is fucking dope. I think the idea is great. All right, so that's everything that was in the box, guys. So we're just gonna move this out of the way. And now let's get the bag. All right, let's see what I pull out of here. Alrighty, let's see. So the first two books that I pulled out are both by Amanda Collins, and I've been eyeballing these for a while. That is The Lady's Guide to Mischief and Mayhem and The Heiress's Guide to Deception and Desire. I think these look really, really adorable. Partner in crime, enemy to lovers kind of stories. Kind of Sherlock Holmes vibe with a love interest. I think that's really cool. So I'm excited to pick these up. I don't know when, but they definitely feel like summery, fun reads. I mean, look at the colors on them. I think they're great. And I think they look really adorable. So I picked them up. Let's see, what else did I grab here? Oh yes, I grabbed this series. I've been wanting this series for a while, and they finally had all 3 installments, and that is the Lauren Asher Dreamland Billionaire series. So I picked up The Fine Print, which is book 1, and then Terms and Conditions, which is book 2, and The Final Offer, which is book 3. I do love a good billionaire romance, because who doesn't love money? Seriously. It's not everything, but it's a lot. But it's not everything. But I thought these looked really cool. And I love these covers. They kind of give me an old vibe and everything. I just think they're really, really cool. But they finally had all 3 of them. Usually when I go, they only had these 2. So, and I just didn't want to buy the 2 without buying the 1. So they finally had all 3. And I was like, yes, sign me up. So I threw my little cart thing and I went to town. So the first one is about Rowan and Zahara. I think is how you say her name. Rowan is in the business of creating fairy tales, theme parks, production companies, 5-star hotels. Everything could be all mine if I renovated Dreamland. My initial idea for hiring Zahara was a good in theory, but then I kissed her. Things spiraled out of control once I texted her using an alias. By the time I realized where I went wrong, it was too late. People like me don't get happy endings, but now they're destined to ruin them. Zahara, after submitting a drunk proposal criticizing Dreamland's most expensive ride, I should have been fired. Instead, Rowan Kane offered me a dream job. The catch, I had to work for the most difficult boss I've ever met. Rowan was rude and company off limits, but my heart didn't care, at least not until I discovered his secret. It was time to teach the billionaire that money couldn't fix everything, especially not us. Yeah, so workplace romance, billionaire romance, sounds like a little hate to love action going on there. Yeah, sign me the fuck up. Yes. The next book I have here is Nocturne by Alyssa Wees. Okay, so based off this cover, and I'm talking about this little image in here, if you can see, it screamed Beauty and the Beast retelling. Like, the cover just screamed Beauty and the Beast retelling, but with ballet. Like, that's what it screamed to me. And honestly, that's why I fucking picked it up. Because that's what it said to me. But I don't believe that's what this is about. In this hauntingly lyrical fantasy set in 1930 Chicago, a talented ballerina finds herself torn between her dreams and desires when she's pursued by a secretive patron who may be more than he seems. Okay, so now hearing that sounds like Phantom of the Opera. Both things I'm okay with. Both things I'm okay with. So if I do get a little bit of a Beauty and the Beast action, I'm fine. I get some Phantom of the Opera action, I'm fine. I'm good. Look how short this fucking thing is. I think I'm gonna have a good fucking time with this guy. Good time. Next book I picked up was The Mighty Nien, The 9 Eyes of Lucian, this next installment of the Critical Role series. I have Vax and Vox, I think is how you say it. I have it's right here. Kith and Kin. Vox Machina. So these are the twin elves, and then this is one of their baddies in it, and I really wanted to start reading these. I got my husband the graphic novel set, but I liked the literary novels more, so I wanted to pick these up, and we're big fans of Vox Machina, the show. I love that show. It's fucking hilarious, so I was very excited to add this to my collection and read it. The next one I picked up, oh my god, I was shocked when I got this. This is Natalie Haynes' Stone Blind. This is a historical retelling of Medusa, and I fucking love Medusa. So does my daughter. I think Medusa is one of the most underrated Greek mythology stories ever. I just fucking love her, and this is a whole story about her, and I'm just like, sign me up. I love her. I do. I'm super, super excited, and I do own 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes, but I haven't read it yet. So hopefully I will like her because I have 2 of her books. But she wrote a book about Medusa. So yeah, I grabbed the next installment to the Blood and Ash series, A Crown of Gilded Bones. It's one of the series that I wanted to start this year, and so they finally had the 3rd installment to it in hardcover, so I picked it up while I was there. So now I have it. Yay. And the last one I picked up, this cover caught me. This cover caught me, and then just was like, damn, that's a gorgeous cover. And this is Murder Your Employer, Volume 1, McMaster's Guide to Homicide. This is essentially about a guy who hires from, okay, originally when I read this, Murder Your Employer, like, I thought that was like, that was, you know, you're murdering somebody that you work for. That's what I thought. But no, murder is your employer. You are hired to murder people. So it's kind of like assassins. And I thought that was really, really cool. From Edgar-winning novelist and playwright Rupert Holmes comes a thriller with a killer concept. The McMaster's Conservatory for the Applied Arts, a luxurious clandestine college dedicated to the fine art of murder. Fucking sign me up. That sounds fucking dope. So I picked this up, basically, I thought it was something else, and then I was very pleasantly surprised when I read the interior, but also, look at this fucking cover, and I grabbed the signed edition, so it's signed. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this one. I don't know when I'm going to read it, but I'm really excited about this one just because I think this is going to be fun. I really do. So yeah, I hope that when I read this, this lives up to the hype that I already have built in my head, just because reading that tagline, I was just like, that's fucking awesome. I like assassin-based stories, so I think this will be really, really interesting for me. But those are all the books that I got recently. I hope if you guys see anything that really sticks out to you and you want me to bump it up on the TBR, let me know. Or if these are any books that you've read, let me know, and I will just leave me comments down the bottom. And also my book request form, my book recommendation form is still up and active. It's in my down box below. You can go ahead and click on it and fill it up. Every response gets put in this little jar, and I draw one a month, and then I read it and review it. So if you have any recommendations for me, fantasy, historical fiction, romance, whatever, anatomy, go ahead. I'm always game for trying new things and everything. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and we'll see you guys all soon with another video. Bye.